And thank you for this opportunity to co-organize with PSU this very important conference, and also to share with you some of the work that we are doing to advocate for Indigenous people's rights. So the theme of our conference is on leadership, Indigenous people's leadership and governance. So what I'm going to present now on the Indigenous Peoples Biodiversity Strategy and Action Plan is actually an experience, uh, our experience of how we've made Indigenous peoples' values, knowledge, and practices uh, uh, figure in the formation of policies and policies and leadership in the Philippines at the local level, at the national level in the Philippines, as well as at the global level. No? So let's start, I think, with a short video. Next slide, please. That really shows what is the role of Indigenous peoples in biodiversity conservation. Okay. So, jika tatayo tatay, isuti background music na rin. Okay. Okay, so what we just saw is all about the Indigenous Peoples Biodiversity Strategy and Action Plan, which is a document that came out of this process. Nga isuti istorya itatanya. And it talks about how Indigenous people's knowledge should be recognized as contributing critically or crucially to biodiversity conservation, in fact, in the whole world, and so should be recognized and considered in any plans that the government makes in relation to biodiversity conservation. Next. So as a background, we say that Indigenous peoples play a vital role in conserving and managing the Philippines' biological and cultural diversity. No? So not just the living things, but also the various cultures in the country are contributions of Indigenous peoples. And here you will see in this map the overlap of indigenous peoples' territories and the remaining forest cover in the country. So this goes to show that where indigenous peoples are, this is also where our forests remain intact. Not really intact, but they still remain as forest cover because of the nurturing that is done by indigenous peoples communities. And so we say it's been studied that out of the 128 identified key biodiversity areas in the country, 96 of these are located in indigenous peoples' domains. And 75% of the country's remaining forests are found in indigenous peoples' communities. Okay, next. Now, let's just give a background on this global biodiversity framework. Are you familiar with the Convention on Biological Diversity, we know CBD? Siguro Han? See who knows about this? Anyway, it's an international convention, agreement among all countries, no, that they will conserve biodiversity. So it was formulated in 1992 and it continues to be in effect until today. And globally, all countries have committed themselves to work for the conservation of biological diversity through this Convention on Biological Diversity. And so in 2022, they came up with a new plan. This is the Kunming-Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework. And the goal of this plan is living in harmony with nature by 2050. Because now, biodiversity is being lost at a very alarming rate. Many species are getting extinct, which is, of course, affecting the well-being of the whole of humanity and all of life on Earth. Yeah? So nga, it's very important, this framework, which binds all countries, that our governments should follow this framework to contribute to stopping the loss of biodiversity. Yeah? And so our country is now formulating a new National Biodiversity Strategy and Action Plan, or NBSAP, to be in line with this global framework. And indigenous peoples saw this as an opportunity to make our voices heard in the formulation of the policy of the government on the conservation of biological diversity. Yeah. So, and this is because of our important role in biodiversity conservation. Next, please. So, what we did was to start an indigenous-led process. Yeah. And here, first we held a Zoom meeting, pandemic pa lang idi. And then after that, we held a face-to-face national conference, national roundtable. And here we said, why don't we form or formulate an indigenous people's biodiversity strategy and action plan so that this will reflect our contributions to biodiversity conservation, and this will ensure that the rights of indigenous peoples are respected in any plan regarding biodiversity. So we said that we will formulate an IPBSAP. Yeah. And so involved in this process were 30 community organizations of indigenous peoples. And then we held 2 national roundtables na nakita yung pictures tatay ditoy. And then we held a Northern Luzon roundtable discussion. And also we held a right shop. Tapno dagiti na tungtutungtung kadagitoy da roundtables kat maisurat and to be formed as an IPBSAP. So next. And the ones who were involved in this whole process are long-running organizations of indigenous peoples and support organizations who have very rich work among indigenous peoples communities. Yeah? Some are doing transmission of indigenous knowledge, some are doing community mapping, some are doing seed saving, all of these organizations coming together to contribute what they can in this collective effort of these different organizations. Next. So this is just a snapshot of who were involved. So the kami, kami to PIKP, and then also involved was PAFID, Tubtuba, Cordis RDS. You may know some of these groups here. The Philippine ICCA Consortium, Non-Timber Forest Products Asia and Philippines, Legal Rights Center, Southeast Asia ICCA Consortium, Kalahan Educational Foundation, International Land Coalition, and the Centers of Distinction on Indigenous and Local Knowledge. So these were the main conveners of these different activities. Next. And then participating in these different activities were, as I mentioned, 30 organizations which are listed here. Yeah, ang kung basahan namin nun. And then next. We also had other NGOs, not indigenous peoples, but support NGOs, environmental NGOs, who also participated and contributed support and services in the conduct of these various activities, and these are listed here. Next. And then also some government personnel participated in these processes, no? So mainly it was the DNR, Biodiversity Management Bureau, who were invited to participate. And then we also had some representatives from the NCIP, Benguet Car, were in the Northern Luzon roundtable. Also some people from the National Office of NCIP, the ADO and the OEHR, and some indigenous people's mandatory representatives, particularly from Nueva Vizcaya, Mindoro, Oriental Mindoro, and Palawan. Kasjay. So dagitoy da adu nya tina-involve iti da itoy nga process. Okay, next. So inya da itoy IPBSAP nya. What we decided among ourselves was that this will be a document which is our collective commitment of indigenous peoples about our role, our knowledge, our values, and our interrelationships with our territories and biodiversity. So this document shows an overview of the status of biodiversity in our communities. It also discusses indigenous worldviews, and then it also examines the relevant policies, governance, and financing landscape within which we operate. And then, kasi DJ, kung kunak nga Global Biodiversity Framework tatay, adati 23 targets na. Yeah? So for each of these 23 global targets, nagaramid mo ti targets ti indigenous peoples. No kasanuta yung ag-contribute kada gito yung targets. And it also contains case stories, particular community case studies, how indigenous peoples are conserving biodiversity, or how are they contributing, what is their role. Kasi pangarigan dagay na share ditoy, those are actually case stories that can be included to show how indigenous peoples are really taking care of the environment. And then it also contains a guidance for biodiversity actions and implementation in the Philippines. So not all biodiversity actions respect indigenous people's rights. Yeah? For example, at dati project nga National Park dita, mabaling awanti FPIC na, yeah? Or energy project which is supposed to be renewable, awanti FPIC na. So this guidance note lays down what should be recognized when conducting conservation projects in the country. Next. So these are our objectives no apay ngayon na ramid mid ito eh. So the process actually started in August last year, 2023. Tadi global plan kat December 2022 lang niya. And then the government process kasi started January to revise the national plan. So we started in August last year, 2023, formulating this IPBSAP. And so we wanted this document to provide nga an overview, what is the state of biodiversity in our communities, and then to say what are our key contributions, to point out key issues and recommendations, and to serve as a guiding document, and also highlight examples of key contributions and good practices by indigenous peoples on biodiversity, sustainable use, and benefit sharing. Next. So data, I'll just go through briefly the content of the IPBSAP. Yeah? So it's actually a 100-page document that we came up with within a period of 1 year, contributed by all of those who participated. But let me just give a snapshot of what each chapter contains niya. Sige. So the first is on indigenous peoples' worldviews on biodiversity and development. And this is all about living in harmony with nature. And isumat tinatutungtong ito yun niya since yesterday that indigenous peoples' worldview is rooted in caring, respect, and responsibility for the earth. Yeah. This also came out from our discussions in these various activities. It also shows a deep reciprocal connections between land and nature and with people and communities and also with the divine presence or the unseen, adi kailangarod niya. These are always considered in anything that indigenous peoples do. Yeah. And then this worldview has been passed on from generation to generation. So nga ingana itata, manipod ka dagiti aputa yung gana tata. This worldview continues to exist and be practiced in our communities. And it serves as a guide to our day-to-day living. Nya, dijay inayan, ayo, nga values tayo. These are values that guide us as we go about our daily lives. And it also says that our territories and resources are of fundamental importance to our well-being. Nung may katidagdaga tayo, niya nga iti panantayo, kasyay niya. So, because of this worldview, indigenous peoples make vibrant contributions to the world's biological and cultural diversity. Next, please. So that's one chapter in the IPBSAP. Now, the next one is about the status of biodiversity in indigenous peoples' territories in the Philippines. Yeah? So there's a write-up there, but here this map captures how certificates of ancestral domain titles overlap with protected areas and key biodiversity areas. So as I was saying, 96 of key biodiversity areas are found in indigenous peoples' territories. Kat makikita dito niya, pink is protected areas, while the blue are ancestral domains. Halos patong niya, kapatong ti protected areas and ancestral domains. Dito may samot overlaps of ancestral domains and important bird areas. So ito lang makikita ay dagi ay anti-birds niya, they continue to thrive in communities of indigenous peoples. Kas pangarigan jay apayaw ni atapay ka Philippine eagle ijay niya and other birds, native birds of the Philippines. Next. And then another chapter looks at the policy and governance landscape. So this is a review of relevant laws that lay down the fundamental rights of indigenous peoples. And this demonstrates that indigenous customary governance, GGI institutions tayo niya, iti panangidaulo kadagiti communities tayo, has a legal basis niya. These are recognized actually, iti lintag tayo. So for example, the National Constitution, the IPRA, even the Local Government Code, no? Like the IPMR nga also is recognized here. And then the Wildlife Resources Conservation Protection Act, the expanded National Integrated Protected Area System, the Convention on Biological Diversity, that global agreement, and then this plan nga rod niya to conserve biodiversity. So all of these actually give recognition and legal basis for indigenous peoples' knowledge and practices to be considered. And then even the law allows for IP governance through this Ancestral Domain Sustainable Development Protection Plan na isuti aramid kadagitoy the ancestral domains tayo, and the right to free, prior, and informed consent nga at ITIPRA. This allows us the legal basis to really assert our rights. Sige. And then there's also this financing landscape nga. It's another chapter here. Kasi ti funds actually for biodiversity conservation globally niya. The Global Environmental Facility has allotted budgets to be able to implement this plan. But narigat nga maka-access ti indigenous peoples kadagitoy da nga resources niya. And uray man iso that ti protect the watersheds, so that ti mang ay-aywan kadagiti rivers tayo, they are not really compensated for these ecological services that they provide niya. And there are financial mechanisms nga hanga maka-access directly dagiti indigenous peoples communities. But there are also some opportunities. These are challenges. It's hard to access funding, but opportunities are there that are also possible to take advantage of given this global biodiversity framework. Sige, next. And then may sapa nga part iti daytoy nga IPBSAP are the threats and challenges that we face in our communities that are also threats to biodiversity conservation. Yeah. So one, the undermining of indigenous customary governance and decision making. Nalawag mo TJ in istorya ni Rocky Tatay niya on how for example the J Adam in may isang community kat in what's this in ram through the TJ approval the FPIC without actually real consent, genuine consent the community. Yeah. So there are threats like those. Hanlang ijay, no dikat iti other areas affected by mining or other areas affected by infrastructure, protected areas. Han nga talaga nga big the decision-making processes and rights dagiti indigenous communities. And then there is also the non-recognition of ancestral domains. While it is a main program of NCIP through the IPRA to recognize ancestral domains, it has been taking decades for this to actually happen and for ancestral domain titles to really be issued to our communities. And then, syempre, the degrading environment due to climate change, land use change, panagbaliw nga ruti usarti daga, from agricultural, for example, to mining, kasjay, and then pollution. Yeah? And then there is also loss of native biodiversity. For example, in agricultural areas, pa nag-introduce kadagitoy the commercial crops, agrochemicals are actually weakening the native indigenous species, making them extinct, and also weakening the transfer of knowledge about these crops. And then, there's the gap of availability of resources kasi naibagat tayo financing landscape. And then there are also human rights violations against indigenous peoples and environmental defenders. Red tagda, not just red tagging, even arrest, harassment, and killing of indigenous peoples who are just fighting to defend their lands. Next. So, and then another part of this plan is indigenous people's contributions to biodiversity. So these are actual case studies that we included to show in actual practice how are indigenous people's communities really contributing to biodiversity conservation. So for example, this one case study here, siguran nyo nga mabasa, but it's about community-based monitoring of ancestral land and resources in an urban setting. This is in Happy Hollow, Baguio City. And it shows in Happy Hollow that indigenous peoples, the Ibaloy there, are actually practicing forest conservation, keeping intact their pine forests. And also, they've mapped this out. They've done resource inventory to show that this is one of the few remaining green spaces in Baguio City. So that's one. The second case study to'y watershed conservation by indigenous communities in Taloy Sur, Tuba Benguet. So this is also the initiative of the Taloy Sur Irrigators Association of documenting their native tree species that are still thriving in their watershed area through their traditional watershed conservation practices. Yeah. That other case study is from Mindanao. That this is a national document, Nyahan lang a Cordillera. So here, these are the weavers of the piece in where's that? Bukidnon. So they're doing weaving using local materials and also using it as enterprise for their own income. Yeah. And so these case studies actually contribute to specific targets in the plan. So this is about target 2. Siguro basaan yun tulano niya. Dagi ka nga targets niya. I won't have to say what these all are, but for each of these one, they contribute to actual targets in the Global Biodiversity Plan. Next. And then there is a part that is an action plan. Yun nga, per target of the KMGBF and also the Philippine Biodiversity Strategy and Action Plan, where we formulated targets for indigenous peoples, no? So that indigenous peoples' views and concerns are also considered in the national plan. And so that, kasi the KMGBF kandi ay, aduti provisions na on indigenous peoples, no? Actually, out of the 23 targets, halos 7 samut mention the rights of indigenous peoples. And the government should align their plan with that, no? So if it's again made at a global level, it should be implemented at national level. Tadagitoy provisions on indigenous people's rights globally in lablaban day tati indigenous peoples matlang ijay international negotiations. So we want to ensure that those provisions globally are also implemented here, and then to be reporting on what we are actually contributing to biodiversity. So the kita, for example, target 1, participatory land and land use planning, adakumati adds DPP nga mang ipakita nga we are contributing to that. And then ecosystem restoration target 2, for example, 5% of degraded areas in ancestral domains are effectively restored. So each target dati very specific targets, measurable targets lang for indigenous peoples. Next. And then, finally, there are key messages that we included as a safeguard for indigenous people's rights in the implementation of any conservation action. So the right to free, prior, and informed consent, indigenous people's customary governance systems should be recognized, full and meaningful and effective participation of indigenous peoples, respect for indigenous knowledge systems and practices. There should be community-based documentation, research, monitoring, and information. There should be access to justice and protection of environmental defenders. There should be access to information, access and benefit sharing from the benefits of biodiversity, and intergenerational transmission of knowledge. Okay? Yeah. So actually, this plan, next please, was already presented to the Philippine government. We wanted nga rud nga daytoy i-take on da ikabil da ijay plano ti gobyerno. And so we've made efforts to lobby. And so daytoy, this was during the May 2024 meeting of the CBD in Nairobi. And the Philippine government actually appreciated the contributions of indigenous peoples to this plan. We can here listen to what the Philippine government said. What's his name? Undersecretary Adobo. Maybe.
The Philippines appreciates the work and contributions of indigenous peoples and local communities, as well as the women and the youth, recognizing that their full and active participation is essential for the implementation of the KMGBF, especially in the development of the MBSAPs. The recently concluded second National Roundtable discussions of indigenous peoples and biodiversity that IP groups organized last May 5 to 7, 2024, demonstrates a strong dedication to maintaining the roles and contributions of indigenous peoples in the Philippines. There is a prevailing belief that indigenous knowledge systems and customs will strengthen and enhance the NBSAP, particularly as national governments begin to support the Convention on Biological Diversity.
Okay, next please. So this is a manifestation of how the government has accepted the contributions of indigenous peoples. And then here in August, in Tagaytay, during the national consultation called by DENR, to put together their PBSAP, yeah, that's the government plan, there was an official ceremonial turnover of this document to the Philippine government here. And it was received by the DNRBMB assistant director, and she said that rest assured that this will reach the office of the secretary, and I'm sure she'll be happy to know that indigenous peoples communities and IP groups have taken this very bold step to make sure that the updated PBSAP, the fourth iteration of our PBSAP, will include a very big part on indigenous peoples' aspirations in terms of protecting our rich biodiversity in our country. Next. And so this is a good development niya. Siguro if you're not so familiar with this process, kasla niya ngay no, dadayta niya. But actually this will really guide government's policy making and resources, allotment of resources for the next decades. Yeah, their plan is up to 2040. So it's very important at this stage to really input the views of indigenous peoples. And so, yeah, our next steps are localization. From the present iteration now, there will be more regional, sub-regional consultations to be held. Tapno, mas specific pa niya what are actual activities to be undertaken in this plan. And then, to implement what's there. Hanlang nga di in kabil tayo nga, we will conserve biodiversity or protect our forest in Busao, for example. We have to implement it also because we are committing to this plan. And then we will monitor. Tapno, mai-report mo nga niya dahil ito gayam ti aramidin ti indigenous peoples ditoy. And also we will report it to the global level. Tapno hanlang nga datayo ti makamod ditoy. So those are the next steps to be done. So this is still a continuing process. And here, next, please. So yeah, with this is a document that I hope everybody parang takes on board, no? As indigenous peoples, you can contact us to know more about it. And this is the QR code if you want to see the whole document. Yeah. So that's it from me. Thank you very much.